Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jonathan Acosta, and I'm a city councilman. First of all, I want to thank you all very much for being here today. I want to briefly touch on two distinct but related topics. The first is mass incarceration. The second is immigration. I find it ironic that the self-proclaimed land of the free in the smallest city of the smallest state of these United States has a barbed wire structure that profits off of housing what they claim are criminals, right? It's ridiculous that we have a jail here, all right? As early as the 1970s, we had research being developed here and around the world to show that the response to the problems associated with poverty and the problems associated with the lack of education were being dealt with through prisons. This is not how you address these issues. This is never shown to work. And we are tired of paying for the sins of our fathers. I am not a religious man, but today I will quote for you from Ezekiel. Why should not the son suffer for the iniquity of the father? When the son has done what is just and right, and has been careful to observe all my statutes, he shall surely live. The soul who sins shall die. The son shall not suffer for the iniquity of the father, nor the father suffer for the iniquity of the son. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon himself, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon himself. In the early 1990s, I was but a child, and at that point, the city was faced with a ridiculous choice. It had to choose whether to build an incinerator or a jail. The message was clear. We were either trash or criminals, and we refused to be labeled as either in this city. We are not criminals, we are not trash, we don't want an incinerator, and we definitely don't want a jail in our city. Michelle Alexander has shown in her text, The New Jim Crow, that we have moved to profit off of the enslavement of people in America. We will not stand for that in our small city. This false dilemma shall not be ours to bear. We refuse to be responsible for the sins of politicians and folks that come from our past to enslave us. Now, the second problem that we have here, aside from mass incarceration, is this attack on immigration. The U.S., and I quote René, or Residente from Calle 13, who says, La operación Cóndor invadiendo mi nido, perdono pero nunca olvido. We rarely forget why these people are here. These people have not forgotten why they are here. We are here because this was our only chance. We came to the United States for a reason. The United States, functioning as an empire, spent decades raping, pillaging, and plundering our countries. The crazy part is, we're not even here seeking revenge. We simply want an opportunity to live the type of life that you exploited us for, to build for yourselves.
Sure, you're right.
And so we stand before you today just asking for that chance. My father in 1985 crossed the Mexican border underwater with a straw in his mouth. Years later in 1992, my grandfather was detained at the border for 2 days and my family forced to pay a fine just so that he could see his family. I stand to you right here as an Ivy League graduate in one generation. There are few, if any other countries in the world where this would be possible. The expectation was that I would leave my community and forgot where I came from, like many of the third and fourth generation immigrants who now stand cries of nationalism that we need to get rid of these immigrants. I refuse to become part of that complicit approach to immigration. My partner and I will welcome our first child in August, and my child will grow up knowing where they came from. My child will grow up knowing the sacrifices that my father and grandfather made for them and the ones that I have made as well. Our country was built off the backs of immigrant and slave labor. It's time we acknowledge that and welcome their contributions rather than obscure and ignore them and their children. I want to close by acknowledging that this struggle will be long. We will not get rid of this jail today. We will not get rid of this jail tomorrow. But I'm reminded today and hopeful of the words by the great Muhammad Ali, who in 1975 stood in front of a commencement class at Harvard and delivered the shortest poem in the history of the English language. It was simple. He took his hand out and he said, me, we. And we will stand together and make sure that we get rid of the riot. Pa fuera! Fuera!